Buckle up, Britain, because Westminster is ablaze with the most jaw-dropping political firestorm to hit the nation in decades. A colossal £5.1 billion financial scandal has detonated at the heart of the Labour government, and at its molten core stands none other than Chancellor of the Exchequer Rachel Reeves, caught red-handed in a spiralling vortex of deception, mismanagement, and betrayal. But hold on to your seats, because the plot thickens with a seismic twist. Labour's deputy leader Angela Rayner has stormed into the spotlight, dropping bombshell revelations that could obliterate Reeves' career and topple the entire Labour leadership into chaos. This is no mere political squabble. This is a full-blown crisis threatening to rip the government apart, and the fallout could leave Britain's economy in ruins. You won't believe what's coming next, so stick with us as we unravel this explosive saga. Now, before we dive headfirst into this electrifying exposé, we need you to join the front lines of truth. If you're as gripped by this unfolding disaster as we are, if you crave unfiltered, hard-hitting updates that the mainstream won't dare touch, then smash that subscribe button right now. Don't miss a single second of this rollercoaster. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and buckle up, because this scandal is about to blow the roof off Westminster, and you'll want to be here for every shocking twist. Trust us, you'll regret it if you don't. Subscribe now and let's plunge into the chaos together. Picture this, a £5.1 billion surplus in the government's coffers, money meant to stabilise Britain's fragile finances, has vanished into thin air like smoke in a hurricane. Poof! Gone! And who was holding the reins when this catastrophic blunder unfolded? None other than Rachel Reeves, the woman tasked with safeguarding the nation's economic future. Instead of delivering prosperity, she's plunged Britain into a fiscal abyss so deep it's sparking outrage from every corner of the political spectrum. This isn't just a mistake, it's a scandal of apocalyptic proportions, and the finger of blame points squarely at Reeves' trembling hands. The numbers don't lie, and they're screaming bloody murder. Back in January, the government boasted a £15.4 billion surplus, the highest for that month in over 3 decades. A golden opportunity to ease the burdens of a nation already buckling under the weight of soaring bills and stagnant wages. But then came the gut punch. £5.1 billion of that precious surplus mysteriously evaporated, leaving budget plans in tatters and the public howling for answers. Where did it go? Was it squandered? Misallocated? Or, dare we say it, deliberately hidden to mask Labour's colossal incompetence? The whispers are turning into roars, and Reeves is scrambling to dodge the tidal wave of fury crashing down on her. Critics are calling it an economic disaster of Reeves' own making, and they're not wrong. The Chancellor's grand promises of fiscal responsibility have crumbled into dust, exposing a gaping black hole in the nation's finances. Opposition figures are baying for blood, demanding an urgent investigation into how Reeves could oversee such a monumental meltdown while simultaneously preaching tough spending cuts to a weary public. This is nothing short of economic malpractice, bellowed a senior Conservative MP, their voice dripping with venom as they questioned whether Reeves knowingly turned a blind eye to the widening financial chasm. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the pressure is mounting. Will she survive, or is her political coffin already being nailed shut? But wait, here's where the story takes a turn so shocking it'll leave your jaw on the floor. Enter Angela Rayner, Labour's fiery deputy leader, who's just hurled a Molotov cocktail into the heart of this crisis. Sources close to Rayner claim that Reeves, desperate to save her sinking ship, tried to drag her deputy into the muck, pleading for her to publicly defend the vanishing £5.1 billion and downplay the chaos. Can you believe the audacity? Reeves allegedly cornered Rayner, begging her to prop up the crumbling facade of Labour's economic credibility. But Rayner wasn't having it. She slammed the brakes, refusing to be Reeves' scapegoat in what she reportedly called a ticking time bomb ready to blow us all to kingdom come. This isn't just a spat between colleagues, it's a full-on betrayal that's sending shockwaves through Labour's ranks. Insiders whisper that the tension between Reeves and Rayner has reached a boiling point, with the two women locked in a high-stakes showdown that could fracture the party's leadership beyond repair. Rayner's not just stepping back, she's loading the cannon. Word on the street is she's got a stash of damning documents and communications that could peel back the curtain on what really happened to those missing billions. "I will not be part of any cover-up," Rayner reportedly hissed to her allies, signaling she might just be ready to spill the tea in a public spectacle that could bury Reeves for good. If these allegations hold water, Reeves' days as Chancellor are numbered, and the fallout could drag Prime Minister Keir Starmer into the crosshairs too. Imagine the scene, Rayner, standing tall, clutching a dossier of evidence, ready to unleash a torrent of truth that could topple the Labour government from within. The whispers are growing louder. Will she do it? Will she take the stage and expose Reeves' alleged web of deceit? Westminster is holding its breath, because if Rayner pulls the trigger, this scandal could erupt into the most explosive political reckoning Britain has seen in years. The clock is ticking, and all eyes are on her next move. Let's zoom out and survey the carnage Reeves has unleashed. This isn't just a Westminster soap opera. It's a crisis hammering every household in Britain. The £5.1 billion fiasco is just the tip of the iceberg. Official forecasts predicted a £20.5 billion surplus, but Reeves' bungling left that target in the dust, clocking in at a measly £15.4 billion. That's a £5.1 billion shortfall she can't explain away, and it's forcing her into a corner. Does she slash public spending to the bone, gutting the NHS, schools, and jobs? Or does she hike taxes yet again, squeezing an already suffocating public until they scream? Either way, Reeves is painting herself into a no-win nightmare, and the British people are the ones paying the price. The Chancellor's ironclad fiscal rules, once her badge of honour, are now a noose around her neck. Critics argue she's got no choice but to unleash brutal austerity measures, the likes of which could rival the darkest days of Thatcher's reign. She's cooking the books to hide Labour's failures, shrieked one opposition figure, slamming Reeves for what they call a deliberate smokescreen to mask the party's economic implosion. And the evidence is piling up. A senior Treasury official warned of mass layoffs, NHS budget cuts, and education funding slashed to ribbons if the missing billions aren't accounted for. This isn't speculation, it's a looming catastrophe, and Reeves is the architect of it all. The public's rage is palpable. Pensioners shiver in unheated homes, families queue at food banks, and workers watch their wages vanish under skyrocketing bills, all while Reeves flounders to explain where £5.1 billion went. On March 26, the Office for Budget Responsibility, OBR, will drop its latest report, a ticking time bomb that could expose the full extent of Reeves' failure to meet her own fiscal limits. Her spring forecast, once a routine event, is now a powder keg, with Rayner poised to detonate it if she goes public with her revelations. Government departments are racing to submit spending reports, but if those missing funds turn up misallocated, or worse, misappropriated, the depth of this crisis could swallow Labour whole. And then came the kill shot. Enter Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride, who turned a Commons debate into a slaughterhouse, eviscerating Reeves with a precision that left her reputation in tatters. Picture the scene, a packed chamber, the air thick with tension, as Stride unleashed a barrage of devastating facts and scorching criticism that shredded Reeves' credibility to ribbons. He didn't just expose her incompetence, he dismantled her entire economic legacy in a takedown so ruthless that political pundits wondered if she'd ever recover. Stride wasted no time, painting a vivid picture of a Britain crippled by Reeves' failures. Inflation through the roof, energy bills soaring to a staggering £1,849 a year, up 6.4%, and council tax hikes hitting 4.99% in 9 out of 10 local authorities. Daylight robbery, he roared, likening it to Thatcher's infamous poll tax and sending Labour MPs into a tailspin. He spotlighted the axing of universal winter fuel payments for pensioners, a move charities branded heartless, and hammered Reeves for abandoning disabled Brits to financial ruin. Reeves sat there, visibly shaken, as Stride's relentless assault left her speechless, her defences crumbling like a house of cards in a storm. The public watched in horror as Stride laid bare the human cost of Reeves' reign, families pushed to breaking point, businesses teetering on collapse, and an energy crisis she refused to fix. Retailers warn of price hikes fueled by her national insurance blunders, while food inflation drives millions to desperation. This is economic destruction on a scale we've never seen. Stride thundered, leaving no doubt that Reeves' fingerprints are all over this disaster. By the time he sat down, Westminster was buzzing. Could this be the end of her chancellorship? The answer hung heavy in the air. Yes, unless a miracle saves her. With local elections looming in May, Labour staring down a political apocalypse. Scotland and Wales are turning against them in droves, fed up with Reeves' empty promises. Reform UK's Nigel Farage is circling like a shark, slamming her net zero obsession as a recipe for even higher energy costs. The OBR's verdict could force more tax hikes or cuts, and Rayner's potential exposé might just be the final blow. Inside Labour, mutiny brews, senior MPs are losing faith, and polls show voters flocking to the Tories or Reform UK. Rachel Reeves is on the ropes, her career dangling by a thread. Can she claw her way back from this abyss, or is she doomed to go down as one of Britain's biggest political flops? And what about Angela Rayner? Will she pull the trigger and unleash the truth, shattering Labour from within? Westminster is a powder keg, and the explosion is coming. Stay tuned, Because this scandal is far from over, you won't want to miss what happens next.